Hello, welcome to NKTelco Sports. We are here at New Knoxville High School where the New Bremen Cardinals take on the New Knoxville Rangers. Tonight's game is sponsored by Minster Bank, Sweeterman Pharmacy, Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental Care, West Staff, Hometown Opportunity, Lamb's Insurance Agency, 21st Century Kitchens, American Trim, PSG Automotive Outfitters, Cy Sweeterman, Carriage Works, Wilson Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Francis Furniture, Grand Lake Health, Moran's Refrigeration, NKT Productions, and First National Bank. Hello again and welcome to New Knoxville High School where the New Bremen Cardinals and New Knoxville Rangers are getting set here to tip off. Should be a good one here tonight, good MAC matchup. The Cardinals come in with a 5-9 record led by Grant Haney, 12 points a game, followed with Avery Powers at 10 and Nolan Bornhorst with 10. The Cardinals had a couple close games this year, looking to notch their second MAC win of the year. Along with them, the New Knoxville Rangers also with one MAC win on the year. They have Nathan Timmerman with their leading scorer at 15 points a game, followed by Ben Lammers. One of these two going to come out of here with their second MAC victory of the season. Should be a good one here at New Knoxville. We'll be back with the starting lineups on the opening tip. You're watching high school basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Carriage Works has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. Carriage Works thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. Carriage Works now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. Carriage Works has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for Carriage Works. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier sofa and sectionals, you can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
Welcome back to New Knoxville. We're set now to meet the starting lineups for each team. First for the visitors tonight, the New Bremen Cardinals. Greg mentioned earlier, a 4-8 record overall. First starter, number 42, Grant Haney, a 6'2" senior. Andrew Bowers, a 6'1" junior, wears number 30. Luke Vonderhaar wears number 40. He's a 6'3" senior, the third New Bremen starter. 34 is Nolan Bornhorst, a 6-foot sophomore. And the fifth starter, number 14, Avery Powers, a 6-foot senior, rounds out the Cardinal lineup. They are coached by Adam Doherty, assisted by Dane Cook. The JV coach is Corey Stevens. Freshman coach is Tom Howell. And now for the home team this evening, the New Knoxville Rangers, a record of 4-8 as well. As I said, New Bremen's 5-9, New Knoxville 4-8. The first starter for New Knoxville is number 4, Jared Osborne, a 6'2" junior. 23 is Nathan Titterman, a 6'1" senior. Andrew Poppy wears number 32. He's a 6'3" sophomore. Number 12 is Jonah Loggeman, a 5'11" senior. And number 10 is Ben Lammers, a 6-foot senior, rounds out the starting lineups for the Rangers. Rangers are coached by Josh Lisi, assisted by AJ Lisi. JV coaches are Andrew Arnett and Matt Stetler. There are your starting lineups again for the Cardinals and the Rangers, Greg. A As always, a rivalry game. Last year, New Bremen's only win came against the Rangers at New Bremen. This year, each team looking for that second MAC win, and someone's going to get it tonight. And I think it comes down to who plays the most consistent basketball for 32 minutes.
Yeah, both these teams have had solid seasons. Their record won't show it as much, but they've had good games at times and just have really struggled to put together a real consistent game against good competition. Hopefully both of them have a chance to do that here tonight, but as you said, always a good matchup. A lot of fun when these two get together.
Tinnerman interior pass, he draws a foul. I'm sorry, before that is a travel violation, the game's first turnover. You mentioned New Bremen now, Greg, they'll take their first possession. They've had some close battles with some very good teams. They went to 99-90 against Anna. They were within a bucket or so of beating Minster last Friday.
Only lost to Versailles by 4.
And it's been, you look at Anna who beat Fort Loramie the other night, gave them their only loss. Minster lost to Fort Loramie in overtime. So New Bremen has been around some very close games against some very good competition. Nice ball movement. The Cardinals can't get a drop shot taken by Vonderhaar, but can't get it to drop. New Knoxville gets a break there. That's excellent ball movement against the Ranger defense.
Yeah, the one thing you'll see from New Knoxville is they're deep. Here in a couple minutes, I'll about guarantee you, I've seen them play numerous times, about 5 minutes ago into the first quarter, that entire rotation will step out except for one player. And they'll do a lot of that as the night goes on, and they tend to play about 10 guys the whole night. So
the Cardinals do.
The Cardinals, yep.
New Knoxville, on the other hand, somewhat thin. They'll play about 7, maybe 8. But New Bremen, they play that very aggressive defense, and they usually don't let anything happen easily. And right now, they've really held New Knoxville's offense outside the perimeter, although Poppy does get a drive in, and on cue, Andrew Poppy banks in the first bucket of the game.
Yeah, good angle taken by Poppy, gets a little runner off the glass to start the scoring.
Poppy averages 4 points a game. Left-handed three-point shot by Powers, a little strong, but good backside rebound by Bowers keeps the possession with the Cardinals. And again, nice interior pass. I don't know who got the assist, but I know the bucket was made by Vonderhaar. Good ball movement on that offensive rebound.
Yeah, nice, good second possession there. Vonderhaar finally gets another attempt there and makes a nice little run in the lane.
Assist was by Haney. Grant Haney, thank you to our production staff. Always on top of things in the van as Logman misses the triple, rebounded by Osborne. So Haney with the assist at the other end. Vonderhaar with the basket that ties it at 2 as we approach the 6-minute mark of this first quarter here at New Knoxville. Chinman gets cut off, and that pass is deflected and nearly an over and back, but Powers able to run it down. Good move by Powers, nothing to lose on that. He gets the steal and the pick six, if you will. The left-hander scores on the left side of the bucket to give the Cardinals a 4-2 lead.
Powers turned on the speed there at the end as you see a charge called against Timmerman. That's his first foul, but somebody that New Knoxville is going to have to keep on the floor for them here tonight.
The game's first sub, number 3 for New Knoxville, Jake Bartholomew, a 5'8" senior into the game. You mentioned Tinnerman as a guy New Knoxville wants to keep on the floor. He's their leading scorer at 15 points a game. Picks up his first foul. New Knoxville zone defense. New Bremen at times has moved it very well, Greg, against his zone defense. Haney pull-up jumper from the elbow. He had a career game against Anna, that 99-90 overtime. I believe he had over 30 points in that game. You know, one of those nights where these teams, when that happens, guys start making shots, they become very good, very difficult to beat.
And I think that's one of the things about New Bremen that's a little unique is that they've got several good scorers, but it's different a lot of nights, you know, so they don't have to rely on one guy necessarily. That can be a good and a bad thing.
Haney's pass deflected. I believe it was Tinnerman maybe for New Knoxville, got a hand and Logman comes down with it, but New Bremen in transition turns the ball over. Boy, good steal almost again by Powers, pretty quick kid. Tinnerman with the triple. On the season, 34% from beyond the arc. And you mentioned he's a guy they want to keep on the floor. He'll get a break once in a while, but you hate to have your starter on the bench because of fouls.
Yeah, I think they're going to need the point production. You're going to see number 42, Grant Haney, do what he just did there if they stay in this zone, and that is he's really good at that elbow spot, very comfortable there, drives the lane and draws the foul.
Wow, that's going to go against Tinnerman. He went at it to help defense in a wild arm swing. You talk about players that need to stay on the floor. You've got to understand how many fouls you have.
Right, especially in the zone, right?
Yes.
It's
and
there for a reason.
He went to help, but kind of an aggressive shot block attempt. You want to play good defense as Haney rattles home the first of two. You see the look here. It could have gone against maybe Loggeman, but they whistled Tinnerman, and I just said, you know, we'd like to keep, or New Knoxville would like to keep him on the floor, and he sits down with 4:36 left, replacing him as a freshman, number 34, Sammy Anspal, a 6'3" freshman. The second throw by Haney is off the mark. Ben Lammers with the basketball for New Knoxville. Game tied at 5. Jack Bartholomew pull up 17-footer, no good. Rebound by Haney, and here come the Cardinals. Haney again, aggressive, cut off by Loggeman. They will reset up top to 24. Kobe Paul is into the game
and
for the Cardinals.
Yeah, you'll notice the part I was talking about. Haney's the only starter on the floor now for New Bremen. They've subbed out all the rest of their rotation.
Yeah, you're right.
Coach Doherty do that quite a bit here in the ball game.
Some of those new players on the court. Number 24, Kobe Paul, I mentioned him. Number 22, Bryce Blickel. Also number 44, Brandon Heitkamp. And number 12, Caleb Allig. So as Greg mentioned, you've seen him play before, the blue line.
That's right.
In for the Cardinals, and Haney the lone starter. And again, see the pressure defense here. They will harass you the full in this court. New Knoxville's gym, 84 feet. And they nearly get a turnover, and they will get a turnover. Loggeman loses it under pressure. It's off of Lammers. Not a direct turnover. Boy, you can attribute that pressure defense to causing that.
Yeah, got their hands on the ball quickly, as you mentioned, and
nothing ever really got settled for the Rangers offense.
A lucky break there, but that's what happens when you play aggressive defense, and they get another turnover from New Knoxville.
So some new players on the court now for the Cardinals offense. New Knoxville 2-3 zone defense. Again, interior pass uncontested, and getting a friendly hop on the road is Bryce Blickel, the 6'1" junior.
Yeah, for a little guard, Blickel does a nice job getting in the paint as well. Again, good penetration, as you mentioned, against that 2-3 zone.
Anspal gets a break. He got a nice interior pass, Greg. Couldn't do much with it, but battled, and draws a foul.
Yeah, foul's going to go against Heitkamp, his first.
So the freshman, Sam Anspal, will go to the free throw line. Very good free throw shooter on the season. Had a big night against Ada. Hit a number of free throws, 11 of 12 coming into the game. You take a look here. It wasn't a picture-perfect possession, but he pivoted well and caught Heitkamp without his hands straight up.
He did a nice job of working without putting the ball on the floor. I love to see that.
He did, though.
Yeah.
He dribbled once and then got stuck, but you're right. He didn't give up. Gets 1 of 2. It remains a 1-point New Bremen lead at 7-6. Haney, again, attacking, kicking out. 3-point shot off the mark by Bryce Blickel, and New Knoxville with a good rebound will reset the Ranger offense as we approach the final 3 minutes here from New Knoxville. Midwest Athletic Conference game tonight on this Friday night. A very warm night outside, a very warm night inside, and a pretty good crowd here at New Knoxville.
Always fun here to come to the barn. You know you're going to get good attendance and a lot of basketball fans.
And I hear the concession stands are awesome.
That's right.
Loggeman weaves into the paint, can't get it to drop. All those concession stand profits go to support the 8th grade class trip to Washington, D.C. You got to drop a plug in when you can.
There you go.
So the barn, a good atmosphere. The Cardinals making it, trying to get the 9th point of the game. They miss a shot off mark by Haney, and kind of different style here. New Knoxville usually walks the ball up the court. We've seen them be very patient. New Bremen's been the more aggressor, attacking offensively, but still a very close game. Both styles holding their own. Lammers, 3-point bucket. Ben Lammers, 39% on the season from beyond the arc, Greg, and that's his first, I believe, first attempt of the game from that range.
New Knoxville, as you said, maybe getting better shots. The last couple New Bremen took contested in the lane, kind of hurried, if you will. New Knoxville got some good looks, and now New Bremen turns the ball over. Yeah,
it's maybe been a couple possessions here recently for Coach Doherty's squad where haven't been very crisp on offense. New Knoxville's taken advantage of the three-pointer and the free throw by Anspal a couple possessions ago. Lammers hit it there from a possession ago. Back-to-back three-point buckets for Lammers, averaging 10 points a game.
Almost the same spot on the floor. You could tell he felt comfortable. He knocks down his second three.
So New Bremen down by 5, the biggest lead for either team. A long three-pointer, and
Kobe Paul.
Boy, a big shot.
Big answer.
That's huge. I mean, Bremen had not been very good the last couple times, and Kobe Paul hits the triple. He averages just over 2 points a game, so he's already above his average. And another steal against the Cardinals, or for the Cardinals. Pressure defense strips New Knoxville from the basketball. Under a minute to go, 12-10, Ranger lead. Zone defense still by the New Knoxville Rangers. Interior pass knocked away off Heitkamp's legs. He dives, knocks it away. Good play by Heitkamp. Haney aggressively goes after it. Bartholomew tries to draw the charge.
Yeah, and I think New Bremen caught a break there as Haney was going a little bit out of control to the basket.
Take another look at it here, Greg. Give Heitkamp credit. He knocked it away. Now here comes Haney. And he was not called for the foul.
Yeah, that foul was called on Jack Bartholomew. That's what I was saying. New Bremen got a little bit of a break. He was a little out of control. But either way, the ball stays with New Bremen, trailing by 2.
4 New Bremen players back in. And there's there's not a charge, okay? I anticipate. I have a great angle from where I'm sitting. That's why it was easy for me to see the shot is short. And we approach the final 30 seconds. I'm not trying to officiate the game, but just happen to have a whistle handy. Osborne loses the basketball. Lageman causes a little bit of pressure against Powers, and Powers goes off his leg.
And neither team has done a very good job handling the ball thus far. Like I said, they just seem hurried. It's one thing to get up down the floor quickly. It's another thing to be hurried to get to your spots. And both of them seem like the last couple possessions have just been a little bit fast. Need to settle into their game a little bit and just be patient and work their offense.
Lammers, who's been hot, hit a couple of three-pointers to give New Knoxville at one time a 12-7 lead. 15 to go, baseline jumper, tough shot, good play by Ben Lammers. He's had a good first quarter, 8 points for Lammers. Under 5 seconds to go now for the Cardinals.
Thought we were going to see a heat check from Lammers. Instead, he makes a nice little runner.
Powers off the mark, and there's the first 8-minute buzzer here at New Knoxville. The Rangers on top of the Cardinals, 14-10. We'll be back with more basketball on NKTelco Sports.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Kogi Plumbing and Heating is your Bryant Factory authorized dealer. We have brought the best of comfort, control, and plumbing services to the St. Mary's area for over 60 years. We have been Reader's Choice winners for the last 4 years running and excel at providing our customers with efficient and reliable heating and air conditioning, as well as responsive service when a plumbing emergency arises. We insist that the products we install in our customers' homes and businesses offer the same performance and value that we expect ourselves. Call today for your next plumbing and heating or air conditioning needs. Bryant, whatever it takes.
8 minutes in the books. Kind of an awkward first quarter, Greg. What stands out for you from the stats perspective?
Well, as we mentioned, the pace is kind of getting out of control. Both teams, 4 turnovers apiece. Not exactly a cleanly played first quarter by any stretch. An entertaining quarter, definitely. But both teams really gave the ball back and forth, looking to see, like I said, at the end of the first quarter, settle down a little bit and get into a little bit more of their offensive sets.
Yeah, we've seen some very good possessions, and then we've seen some where this may be a little bit out of control. And so both teams will try to reload here. And boy, a strong move. Kind of had his mind made up. Nolan Bornhorst got it in front of the Ranger bench. And
New Knoxville went man on that possession.
Right, he took advantage. He did not give up, and wasn't easy getting to the basket, but Bornhorst does score his first bucket of the game.
Now you see his height, and it says 6'1", but when you see him on the floor, it seems more like 6'4". He really plays well in the paint.
Lageman, cross-court pass to Lammers. He's been hot, challenged, blocked by Kobe Paul, number 24. The block, good defense by Paul on a gentleman. Ben Lammers had a nice first quarter. 8 points, I believe it was. And good defense by the Cardinals. They'll try to tie it up here, 14-12 right now.
Quickly switched back into the zone, did New Knoxville. So giving New Bremen multiple looks here defensively.
Do you like the multiple looks, Greg?
Oh, for sure.
3-point shot. Luke Vonderhaar, no good, tipped out. Bornhorst runs it down, saves it, and goes right off of Osborne's leg and out of bounds. So good hustle play by Nolan Bornhorst. And caught a break there. New Knoxville not ready for that. I didn't think they maybe thought Bornhorst was going to be able to save it.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, goes off of the Ranger hand and out of bounds. Right underneath us right now will be number 30, Andrew Bowers. And New Bremen gives it almost right back as they throw it off their own legs.
And that's what I've been talking about, right? Like both these teams have had really great possessions and look really good. This is kind of like the picture of the season, right?
Yeah.
Your records are where you're at because you do 2 or 3 really good possessions, and then you do one there that's just kind of careless and give the ball away.
Hey, you don't mind some turnovers. That one seems just a little unforced. Beautiful pass by Jack Bartholomew. Sammy Anspaugh with a finish, and put a note by that one. Number 3, Jack Bartholomew, a good pass.
Yeah, and a good finish, as you mentioned, gives New Knoxville, I think, their biggest lead of the game at 4.
12-7 when after Lammers hit. It was 12-7. It was 5.
Call.
And then that's when New Bremen hit the deep 3 by
Kobe Paul.
So it's now back to a 4-point lead. We played almost 2 minutes here in the second quarter. Again, a nice crowd on hand tonight. The Cardinals are crimson and gold. I assume I get that number right, Greg, right? Color scheme.
Yep.
And the Rangers in the home whites with the red numerals trimmed in gray.
The foul was called on number 12, Jonah Loggeman, his first.
You talk about fouls. Knoxville's done this all without basically Nathan Tinnerman, their leading scorer. He went out with probably 5 minutes, I think, in the first quarter with his second foul. He has not played since that time. Give Haney the assist, kind of awkwardly, but Luke Vonderhaar gets the bucket. I think the crowd thought maybe Haney traveled, but wasn't called. It was just kind of an awkward-looking set, but Haney's strong enough to get the pass to his teammate. And Vonderhaar responds. There's one of those. If it had gone out of bounds, that's one of those plays like you just can't have where you turn it over. New Knoxville does turn it over, trying to penetrate the middle. Good defense by the Cardinals. And they go back to work offensively, looking to take the lead here, and they do. A triple from Grant Haney.
Tough shot by Haney, contested well by New Knoxville. He rises up, knocks it down. And I think that's the first lead of the night for New Bremen. 2-2 early on. I think
they might have been up. They might have been up 7-6. That might have been when Lammers hit those buckets there in that stretch. But the Anspaugh tied up, kicks out to Loggeman. Triple by Loggeman back in. So Loggeman answers a 3 by Haney. And Loggeman averaging just over 7 points a game. You mentioned Haney. He hit that 3-point shot. He's averaging 12.3 points a game. He's their leading scorer on the team as Haney. Looking to add to that. And it's one of these games now. He looks like he's getting in some rhythm. I wasn't at the end of the game, but when a guy can score 34, you know he can
that's
be
the
doing
place.
something right.
If you've watched him much, he likes that little high post there. And when he catches it, nobody's around him. He'll turn and just toss that little floater up there and knock it down.
Good ball movement, a block call on the other end. Could have been nearly a charge, but goes against the Cardinals. Avery Powers. You mentioned Haney. Not only does he get it, but when he gets it, it's 100%. It's 100 miles an hour. He doesn't really have a slow gear, it doesn't look like. And
I'm not sure who they called that last foul against.
Powers, number 14.
Oh, there you go, 14.
Take a look at, he tried to draw the charge on the pass. Instead was whistled for the block.
I saw 41.
Lammers had the right idea. He tried to throw it off of Haney's back, but didn't get in bounds. Didn't establish evidently on-court presence. And
it's tough to see down here. I didn't know if he got it off of Haney or not. He probably did.
It
just looked awkward from down here.
I think and I didn't quite see it.
At the other end, so.
I was looking down when he went to throw it in, and turns out to be a Ranger turnover. Boy, Tinnerman in the middle there trying to knock the ball away. Possibly could have got his third foul. Does not. He's back on the court now, just over half of the second quarter to play with the 2 personal fouls. Boy, not much room to thread the needle. New Knoxville gets it, fortunately for them. Tinnerman looking for help. The step through, he does a nice job of keeping his pivot foot, but gaining a lot of distance. Referees confer, and it goes off of the Rangers. Will be New Bremen basketball with an even 4 minutes to go and an even score, 19 all.
Yeah, and you see Tinnerman again, like you said, he took that shot, crashed for the boards pretty tough. He's getting himself in some scenarios. Yeah,
someone's on a whistle. Potentially, he's got to be careful. He doesn't not get his third foul. He's right now playing tight against Haney. Long, dangerous cross-court pass, stolen. Loggeman left-hand layup, up and in.
Nice
Good
anticipation there by Loggeman. You see him reading it back in that zone and took it the distance.
Those cross-court passes, no matter what level you're at, whether it's junior high or high school, those are always potential for disaster. Interior move missed, I believe it was number 40, Vonderhaar, rebounded by the Rangers. The older you get, the faster the guys get. So when these long passes
and
get
the
picked
longer
off.
you
Yes.
get.
New Knoxville wants a 30-second timeout. With that, I'll let Greg, if you don't mind, go through our sponsors.
Kogi Plumbing and Heating, NKT Productions, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Bank, Minster Dental Care, Hometown Opportunity, American Trim, PSG Automotive Outfitters, 21st Century Kitchens, Sweeterman Pharmacies, Keyhole Pizza, West Staff, Lambs Insurance Agency, Grand Lake Health, Moran's Refrigeration, Carriage Works, Francis Furniture, Wilson Health, and Cy Sweeterman. Thanks again to all those great sponsors for tonight's action.
Those sponsors allow us to do this, and tonight it's Midwest Athletic Conference basketball between the New Bremen Cardinals and the New Knoxville Rangers. And thank you, Greg, for helping me out there, and I can get a drink and solve that try to satisfy that itchy throat. So again, a great crowd tonight. We've got a good ball game. You know, there's been some mistakes, but it's been enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's close, and a lot of people here to see these two teams. Someone's going to earn, as you mentioned, that second Midwest Athletic Conference victory tonight. And they don't come easy, and sometimes when you're on the bottom, you take what you can get and you build upon it. You mentioned time and time again, each of these teams have had moments of pretty good basketball.
For sure.
But good teams find a way to do it consistently.
Right, and that's really the difference. There's a lot of good players on both of these teams. They've just not been able to find that combination to settle everybody down and work together on a consistent basis.
So
Season's still young, though.
Yeah.
They can do that here in a few games and put together a run.
Lammer steps out of bounds. No, he gets fouled. Okay, there's a foul, blocking foul. Just the fourth, maybe against the Cardinals.
So Luke Vonderhaar, his first.
Yeah, the season basically just over halfway for each of these teams somewhat. Really, you only need to get hot for the final 8, and that includes a tournament. So you play your regular season and hope you play your best basketball when you get into the second season. So New Knoxville stays in the zone. Looks like a 3-2 this time, Greg. Earlier, it seemed like it was more of a 2-3.
Right.
Maybe trying to get their hands up on the outside perimeter shooters, maybe a little bit better. Haney, cross-court pass. Bornhorst able to get it. Fortunately, Haney may want to send Bornhorst a Christmas card for that one, because that was another near pick 6 going the other way.
Yeah, it's a tough pass, and he got it. Once he caught it, able to use his physicality inside there.
Boy, there was a
Red all
soft
the way.
pass. Haney recovers it. Up the floor it goes. No good. Tipped by Paul, no good. So the New Bremen misses an opportunity. The first shot was by Blickel. He just a little too strong, and Paul couldn't get it to go either. A break for the New Knoxville Rangers, and they nearly throw it away again, and they do throw it away. Bartholomew, though, hustles down and prevents the layup, but New Bremen retains possession. Bornhorst, tough shot from the baseline. Rebounded and scored.
Luke Vonderhaar, the tough shot inside.
You need to go all the way back to the play where Bornhorst, I think, kind of bailed out Haney. You mentioned Bornhorst 6 feet, maybe plays a little bit bigger. When he caught the ball, there was some contact. Guess who did not go down? It wasn't Bornhorst. He maintained his ground. And
so I said, when you watch him play, he's only listed at 6 foot, and he's the quarterback on the football team too, and you can't tell. He just looks and appears so much bigger and stronger than that, and he works in the paint very well.
Right now we're playing a little game of do-si-do. They're trying to get a sub in, and they threw the ball to the shooter, and one referee stopped the game, and they threw it back to the other ref, and he finally said, go in.
Official shaking his head.
Yeah.
That's never a good sign.
Yeah, they can talk about that during halftime. If that's the worst thing that happens tonight, we're in pretty good shape.
That's right.
It doesn't really matter. Hey, by the way, the free throw was made by, was it?
Luke Vonderhaar.
There we go. Thank you. Nice kick out, open shot for Tinnerman. Off the mark, rebounded by Haney, and look out, here come the Cardinals again. Three-pointer, no good off the mark by Vonderhaar, and New Knoxville knocks it around, but comes away with the rebound with 1:33 left here until halftime. The Bremen has done a much better job offensively in the second quarter, outscoring New Knoxville 14-7. They have a 3-point lead. They trailed by 4 after 1. Lammers, nice shot fake. Plenty of time to shoot. A rare miss off the mark. Good play by Lammers. The steal gets it to a teammate. Tinnerman with 2 fouls going hard, and there will be a foul called against the Cardinals. Boy, Tinnerman did not let up. He went strong and went at the defender.
The foul, I believe, is on number 40, Luke Vondahar. That's his second.
Tinnerman playing with the 2 personal fouls. His first free throw attempt, short. 71% free throw shooter. Here's the look at it. There's some contact. He kept going right at Vondahar. Drew the foul against Vondahar. Missed his first free throw. Looking to hit the second one. New Knoxville has struggled offensively here in the second quarter. Just 7 points. Make it 8. Tinnerman will come out with 1:08 left. He played that.
Good choice there by New Knoxville. You got a minute left in your half. It's a great place to get him off the floor, not get him his 3rd foul.
Zone defense by New Knoxville. Just 1 possession. They went man-to-man. Logman nearly fouling Bornhorst up top. Powers over to Bornhorst, who shoots the 3-point shot off the mark. Strong. Haney, turnaround jumper. In and out, no good. Bartholomew runs it down, and we get called for traveling. So tough break for New Knoxville. Bartholomew ran it down. Maybe thought he was going to get bumped, or maybe got bumped just a little bit, but called for the travel.
Yeah, tough break down there, hustling hard to get the ball. They give it back to New Bremen with 45 seconds left to go in the half.
Kobe Paul looks back at Coach Doherty. Powers, left-hander, back to Bornhorst. 30 seconds ago, I can't believe New Bremen would hold it for 1. They just don't seem like that's their DNA.
No,
it doesn't.
It's not.
Yeah, it was a good shot. And I'm not saying they should have, because I'm all in favor of let's go offensively and see what we can do. New Bremen's been playing much better offensively here in the second quarter, and a block foul. So I'm not sure if Heitkamp wasn't set soon enough, but he picks up the foul, and that will send Jared Osborne. Osborne averaging just under 4 points a game. Will look to give New Knoxville potentially a tying score here with 15.5 seconds left.
And that's foul number 2 on Heitkamp.
Here's the replay.
He checks out. Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, it looks like it was a good call, Brandon Heitkamp. Yeah, he got hit. Just wasn't there maybe about a half a second late. So Osborne, 61% from the charity stripe. Misses both. It will stay with New Bremen. Here they come with just under 10 to go. Kobe Paul with the basketball. Bornhorst now. It's a high screen to the basket. Shot missed. Time expires, and after 2 8-minute quarters here at New Knoxville, the Cardinals at halftime lead by 2, 24-22 over the Rangers. We'll take a break and come back with second half action here on NKTelco Sports.
Brand presence is everything. Is it time to create a video that promotes your business? NKTelco has the solution with NKT Productions. NKT Productions can create a national caliber commercial or video specifically to your business needs and demographics. Utilize NKTelco ad insertion, and your video is made available to 6,000 plus subscribers in 8 local communities on 23 major networks. Take advantage of the overwhelming traffic that video gets. Visit nktelco.net for more information.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler, with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community, with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Minster Dental Care continues to offer advanced dental technology in a state-of-the-art facility. Our professional team offers experience in general dentistry and orthodontics, including services such as CEREC and wireline orthodontics. Board-certified pediatric dentist Dr. Philip Slonkowski ensures our littlest patients have a positive, safe, and a comfortable experience. We are unconditionally committed to excellence in everything we do.
It's halftime here at New Knoxville. The Cardinals up on top here, 24-22. Our first half stats, here is Greg Burning.
Thanks, Jeff. As you see the stats there, the score is pretty even, obviously. Shooting pretty consistent. If you look at New Knoxville, they shot very well from three-point range, 4 of 7. Rebounding's a slight advantage to New Bremen. Took a lot more shots, got a few more offensive rebounds. Turnovers pretty consistent. New Bremen seemed to settle down a little bit in the second quarter, get some good looks, but New Knoxville able to hang around with those threes and keep this game really, really competitive, especially without Tinnerman a lot of that half. So scoring leaders for New Knoxville, led by Ben Lammers. He had 8, Loggeman 5, Tinnerman 4, and Poppy 2, and Ansbach 3 for New Bremen. They were led by Luke Vonderhaar with 7, Grant Haney 6, Kobe Paul 3, Blickel 2, Powers also with 2. So numbers don't lie too much here. Pretty competitive all the way around. Big last 2 minutes of that first half. I thought New Bremen started to settle in and play a much better ball game. Got a 3 or 4 point lead, but New Knoxville got right back in there, hit a couple big shots again, and we're about where we started. They've really settled in. I think you're going to see a lot better basketball here in the second half. Not that it was bad.
Right.
It wasn't bad in the first half by any stretch, but I think we both have an expectation that both these teams could play very well. They just kind of get a little bit erratic at times and do some careless mistakes. And then the next possession, they look like a great team,
Better. Yeah,
like
what's odd
we've
is
seen.
You expect it because you know that you have to play good every night with the competition and schedule that you play. It's tough to play sloppy and win in this area. And
for sure.
And when you play sloppy, you don't win, and that's why both these teams are hovering, a little bit under 500. But, again, New Bremen gave some great teams in this area some heck of battles this year. They haven't pulled the ultimate thing is win, and they haven't got that, but they've been challenging some good teams. And another turnover for the Rangers. New Bremen's Avery Powers, and a couple of nice moves, and we have a whistle here.
Not sure what that was from. Quick bucket there by Avery Powers.
Bucket will count, 26-24. I saw Frank Vitt motion real quick, and oh well, we're back to live action. No harm, no foul. Loggeman kicks out to Poppy. But yeah, these teams, you just want them to play so well because they have to compete. And that's it's easier said than done. Loggeman's three-pointer off the mark, rebounded by Vonderhaar. Bornhorst, good move, nice skip pass. Up and off the glass, number 30, Andrew Bowers with the bucket, and a nice pass by Bornhorst. And keyword there, bounce pass. And Coach Lisi will take a timeout. New Bremen's up by 6, a 30-second timeout. We'll go through our sponsors one more time. They include Cy Sweeterman, Wilson Health, Francis Furniture, Carriage Works, Moran's Refrigeration, Grand Lake Health, Lamb's Insurance Agency, West Staff, Keyhole Pizza, Sweeterman Pharmacies, 21st Century Kitchens, PSG Automotive Outfitters, American Trim, Hometown Opportunity, Minster Dental Care, Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, NKT Productions, Kogi Plumbing and Heating. Our scoreboard sponsor this evening, First National Bank, Think First. And also we will be picking players of the game for each team tonight. And that award is being sponsored by NKTelco.
Jeff, real quick, what I liked about that first 2 possessions for New Bremen, they got a steal, was under control that time, unlike in the first half. And as you mentioned, made a great pass to get an easy bucket.
Yeah, they've basically, their offense in the second half here has been off of New Knoxville turnovers. Powers with a steal, if you will, and a score at the other end, and then Bornhorst leading the break. Kind of in transition and almost like the special teams portion. It's not offense, it's not defense, it's transition. That special teams, the third phase of the game, has been good for New Bremen here. They've had a lot more of those opportunities.
Yeah, and a lot of that is they can get the turnovers. Is what can you do with them once you have them? Can you make a good play with your team under control and get a good look at the basket? They did that off the first steal here. And kind of a danger spot here for New Knoxville as they've been able to hit some big threes when they were in this spot in the first half as they now trail by 6.
And they had a 14-10 lead at halftime. They've only scored 8 points since the end of the first quarter. New Bremen has scored 18. So an 18-8 New Bremen Cardinal advantage since the end of the first quarter. And tough break there as Tinnerman battled, got the ball knocked away. Vonderhaar, right place, right time, scores the basket.
Vonderhaar now with 9.
And the biggest lead of the game for either team. New Bremen an 8-point lead. Lammers, who hit a couple threes in the first half, misses that attempt, rebounded by Bowers. Bornhorst with the basketball now for New Bremen. New Knoxville stays in his own defense. So good first couple minutes for the Cardinals. They've done everything they needed to do and wanted to do, except for that. I don't think that was on the whiteboard as Coach Doherty in the catching
position. If it was, I'd like to see that whiteboard.
Yeah, someone's going to have a head examined, but Coach Doherty will let that one ride. When you've been playing pretty well, you can handle a few mistakes. And now as that was kind of unforced, it was still, one you can maybe understand as a coach. You're trying to make the pass. It's those types that are really detrimental, and Powers makes the Rangers pay.
And I was going to say a big offensive possession coming there for New Knoxville, and they turn it over again, and now the big deficit at 10.
Boy, New Bremen's offense here in the second half has been a lot of transition buckets. They've coupled by Powers, and the break led by Bornhorst to Bowers has been. So if I get this right, all New Bremen scoring in the second half, has it been by Powers and Bowers?
Yeah, it has. So that foul is on Vonderhaar. That's his third, so he's the first one in the ballgame with 3 fouls.
Tinnerman's been somewhat quiet offensively this evening. Another look here at the fouls. A lot of body contact. Vonderhaar will pick it up. It could have gone against another player, but Tinnerman now looking to try to score. This is where New Knoxville has to take advantage of it when the clock stopped. And no pressure defense in your face. An 8-point lead now for the Cardinals.
And plenty of time, obviously. You just got to settle down here and get some stops. And if you're New Bremen, obviously they want to keep going. But as you mentioned, a lot of their possessions have come in the full court off a turnover for their offense. So we'll see if they can settle in here and get a good offensive look. That's a pretty good look.
And Powers almost kicked it out of bounds. I think on the drive, is picked up by his teammate, and then he's rewarded with a triple.
And he's turned it up here in the second half. He's had 2 points at halftime. He now has 9.
Well, a couple, pick sixes is there's a contact and a block called against Heitkamp. I think Heitkamp's been on the floor a couple of times tonight trying to draw the charge and has not been able to get rewarded with that opportunity.
And that'll be foul number 3 on him. So New Bremen bigs taking some hits here. Fortunately,
52.
Fortunately, they got another body in there.
Really.
So
they don't get any smaller. Jacob Rundler, a 6'3" junior. So New Bremen definitely has some athletic bodies that they can put in. Tinnerman battles and, again, maintains that pivot foot. The other one moves a bunch, but he doesn't move the pivot foot. And he draws another foul against New Bremen. We'll have a chance now to work into this deficit.
That one's on Nolan Bornhorst, his first, the 3rd team foul there in the half for New Bremen.
11 now, the lead for New Bremen to make it 10, but the 11 after that Avery Powers triple, the biggest lead for the Cardinals. Again, watch him stutter. It's the same foot that's moving. The left one never moved.
Yeah, good regain of his position, his body position underneath. And we missed a lot of this in the first half because Tinnerman got into foul trouble early. Hopefully he can stay involved here in the second half for the Rangers.
Definitely a critical part of the New Knoxville offense. Tinnerman, the leading scorer for the Rangers at 15. Lammers at 10 a game. The only double-figure scores for New Knoxville. We approach the midway mark here of the third quarter. Haven't seen much of Haney tonight, or I shouldn't say tonight, the third quarter, but it's been the Powers show here in the third quarter, a little bit of Bowers, and now he had a Haney bucket.
Haney got a nice little touch roll there. Score his first 2 of the second half.
That gives him double figures for the game, or I forget what you said he had.
He's got 8.
8. Lammers deep in the corner, tough shot. Miss, saved by the Rangers' Nathan Tinnerman. Anspaul gets it stripped. A lot of contact down below. Powers, though, able to come away with the strip. Good behind the back dribble by Kobe Paul. And a 3-point basket by Grant Haney.
And you hit on Haney earlier. When he gets going, he's got the trigger to go, and he knocks down another one. Now it's 11.
full timeout called by the Rangers. They trail by 15. We'll come back with more basketball here on NKTelco Sports.
We knew that we could use hometown opportunity as an avenue to reach out to people, not just in this community, but across the state.
Hometown opportunity was my saving grace, honestly.
We viewed it as a great resource for us to get the word out about our company.
I saw all the commercials, billboards, and I thought, just give it a shot, why not? And they offered me a photography job on the spot, which was thrilling because I've been searching for months.
The Hometown Opportunity website definitely makes that connection.
American Trim's story started in 1951, and our long family legacy continues today. We are a third-generation family-owned business with locations in Sydney and Walpock, and we're hiring for manufacturing positions on first, second, and third shifts. Part-time and full-time positions are available for entry-level and skilled individuals. Please apply at www.amtrim.com or in person. American Trim is a proud sponsor of high school sports and our communities. Come be part of our story.
15-point lead for the New Bremen Cardinals. They've shot very well here in the third quarter, Greg, and New Knoxville's had some turnovers and not many opportunities, and there's where the deficit has opened up.
Yeah, we talked about a little bit of the New Bremen depth and scoring, and they can put points on the board. Question is, can they settle down and run their offense consistently? So far here in the second half, they've been able to do that. They are picking up some fouls, as that's the fourth one here committed by New Bremen here already in the third quarter. That one's on Rindler, his first.
New Bremen just plays a very physical defense. Lammers a shot. Even New Knoxville was getting a high screen for, I think it was Tinnerman to set the screen, but the guy guarding the ball, I mean, he runs right into the screen. I mean, they will almost like run through a brick wall if they had to.
They're not tall, but they're physical, and they're pretty quick in every position, so they can keep up with most teams.
Lammers hits 1 of 2. Lammers a very good free throw shooter in the season, 83%, 15 of 18 coming into the contest. Now 14-point lead for New Bremen. Number 14 for the Cardinals. Power is a circus shot.
Wow.
And take that 14-point lead to make it 16. Bucket by number 14, Avery Powers.
He's got 11 now as well to match Haney with 11 for New Bremen.
You mentioned those two guys, Haney and Powers. Haney leads the team at 12.3 a game. Powers right behind him at 10.6, and then sophomore Nolan Bornhorst at 10.3. The leading scorers for New Bremen.
Another foul picked up there by New Bremen. That was on number 24, Kobe Paul. And that's the 15th foul already here. Big advantage for New Knoxville at the point, right now I should say, as they've got a 5-1 edge on the fouls.
Haney really forcing the offense for New Knoxville to stay on the left side. Loggeman shot no good, rebounded by Loggeman. Tinnerman kicks over to Lammers, who's open from a couple of steps beyond the arc. His third made three-pointer of the afternoon or the evening for Ben Lammers.
And a big basket for New Knoxville. I think that's the first field goal they've made here in the third quarter. A lot of free throws. They've really struggled to get one to go through the hole. They get one there, and that's going to be, I think that foul's going to be on Tinnerman. That's going to be his third, and really just not one he needed to even commit.
He came out and chested up on Bornhorst, way far away from the basket, and Bornhorst has the ability to put the ball down on the floor. It just seemed like he was too vertical, and when Bornhorst swung or swept through pretty quick, too much body contact, his third foul.
He'll check out.
2 minutes, 32 seconds left, 13-point New Bremen lead. If New Knoxville wants to make this interesting again, definitely going to have to get some stops and get some offensive buckets. A new player for New Knoxville, number 30. Dylan, oh Lord, I just forgot his name. I'll get it. Grindler gets it to drop.
It's Dylan Tyrus.
No, it's Dalton. Dalton Meeks. There we go. Sorry, Dalton Meeks, number 30, came up from the JV squad a few games ago, playing some varsity minutes. Loggeman spins inside the elbow, shot short, rebounded by Powers. Under 2 minutes to go. New Bremen with the bucket here would have their biggest lead of the game. Powers from the elbow. Count it.
Boy, and you can definitely tell a different attitude in Avery Powers here in the second half. Much more aggressive at the bucket offensively. Leads all scorers now with 13.
Well, he hit some shots, and sometimes what you need as a scorer is get some layups. And he got that in the third quarter, and it was beginning of the third quarter with some layups off steals. And right now he's done a little bit of everything, and now he's going to get another one. Beats everyone down the floor. He'll go to the foul line, but he got the ball basically down here on the block area. and with the basketball was basically the first one down
That's what
there.
I mean. There's a different gear right now. You can see it. He's definitely turned it up a notch and has a definite determination to get to the bucket and put up some good shots. Now he's going to get a chance to hit a couple free throws.
First one is good.
He's a 72% free throw shooter on the season as well.
Very good free throw shooting percentage, as you mentioned.
Bleckel checks back in for New Bremen. Also does Kobe Paul.
19-point spread now as New Bremen has opened up what was a 2-point game at halftime. They've scored what they scored in the whole first half, Greg, here in the third quarter. They had 24 at half. They've got 24 points in the third quarter. And the steal by Haney, outlet pass, open bucket for Bleckel. In and out, no good. Tough break for number 22, Bryce Bleckel. They won't come much uncontested in that.
They did everything right there except for make the layup.
You know, you talk about New Bremen, they're going to get a foul here committed against Powers. Go back to that Anna game a month ago, if you will, where they scored 90 points.
Right.
I had them against Marion Local a few weeks ago. Different team offensively that night. Now, granted, Marion Local physical really took New Bremen out of the game plan. I'm like, how does a team score 90?
Paint, tough to play against. He takes that whole painted area, but you're right. But you can see why
Yeah,
now.
they
They can get rolling and really knock some points in a hurry.
If you don't take care of the basketball and they get the steals like they've gotten here in the third quarter, that's offense at the other end. And the last opportunity, they had a great chance to get their 26th point of the third quarter. And you start scoring 24 points a game, you're going to get to the century mark.
And now they've committed some fouls here, and we talked about it earlier. They got their 7th team foul. So New Knoxville, the last minute here in the third quarter, and all the fourth quarter will be shooting free throws.
You mentioned earlier with the lead now, New Bremen in control, but their style of play. Are they disciplined enough to, let's say, slow it down a notch and not take? Not do you want to kill the clock, but boy, if they keep running, they start missing, will they be able to slow down?
It's not even the slowing down, it's getting good shots, handling the ball and getting good shots, not being reckless as Lammers misses the second free throw. He now has 13 points for the Rangers.
Right now,
you got to keep getting good offensive possessions. You know, you can take some quick shots. Avery Powers wide open. That's an okay shot. You'll take that. But you got to get good shots, and that's where they've kind of struggled. So we'll see if they can handle that here throughout the third and into the fourth.
Well, they're going to head into the fourth quarter with a sizable lead as a shot by Lammers is missed. Up the court again. Boy, Bleckel will have another chance. That one much more contested, misses it. New Knoxville gets the basketball, the rebound.
And that's kind of one of them right there, right? You get the ball down floor quickly, you get a good opportunity, but you know what? The defense recovered. That's when you got to just back up and say, somebody come get the ball here and let's get a good shot. Instead, they forced up a tough one and give up a bucket at the other end.
Good interior pass by Ben Lammers to Andrew Poppy. Under 5 seconds. Powers, 4 feet beyond the arc, 3-point shot, no good. That's the end of the third quarter. Your score, New Bremen 48, New Knoxville 32. We'll be back with the final quarter here at NKTelco Sports.
Automotive Outfitters, your truck accessory headquarters.
At 21st Century Kitchens, we know that every home has a style to go with it. From first-time homebuyers, to families with the pitter-patter of little feet, to teenagers taking over the kitchen, 21st Century has what you want, customizing the style, layout, and price point to fit your budget. Kitchens by Craftmade and quality cabinets, countertops by Wilson Art and Cambria, along with availability of granite, marble, and wood.
See what's in store behind the yellow door for your 21st Century Kitchen.
Welcome back for the final 8 minutes. We get the look at the New Knoxville Pep Band. A nice job by the students tonight. As they're going to need a heck of a finish here, the Rangers do, Greg, to get back in this game against the Bremen's defense that's forced a lot of turnovers here in the second half, and their offense has come alive.
Yeah, big third quarter for New Bremen. Put it all together on both sides of the floor, converted some defensive turnovers into points, shot the ball pretty good in the third quarter as well. As you can see they go into the fourth with a 16-point lead.
Rindler has the offensive rebound shot blocked, followed by Bleckel also blocked. So 3 looks there. The first one by Haney didn't drop. 3 looks for the Cardinals. unable to score. So again, New Knoxville down by 16. Going to the bucket and drawing a foul. So again, you mentioned the foul situation for New Bremen. That was a shooting foul anyways now, but that's going to be team foul 8, so they're already nearing a double bonus. And
well, and a smart play on New Knoxville's part. You know they're in foul trouble.
Go at 'em.
Drive to the bucket.
How much
the
fun have you
officials,
had?
I don't think the officials have called a charge all night.
Nope.
Not say there hasn't been one, but they haven't called one. So if you know that going in, why wouldn't you attack the bucket on either end? But especially when your team has 18 fouls as Logman knocks down the free throw.
Here's the look again as Rindler just again about a half a step late. But New Knoxville hasn't had many open looks. So, you know, when you think about the shots they've taken, it's a lot of pressure, kind of a struggle to get a good look. And I'm not saying just put your head down and run people over, but that might be some of the best offense. Now a 14-point lead. I think the biggest lead was at 19. So New Bremen now, I should say, facing some full court pressure defense. Will New Bremen take control and take good shots? Haney to the basket, misses it. And here's what we talk about, Greg. Now, that was a good shot. Doesn't come up with points, but New Knoxville a bucket away here from getting this thing back to maybe 11.
And you drove the full length of the floor, and Haney's a good penetrator, but you also had 3 defenders back there. You know, you get to a point where pull up, take a little run in the lane, might be a little, you know, you can take a 6-footer. He's really good at that shot. Not to say it was a bad shot, but highly contested.
Didn't finish.
Good defense.
Of course, if he makes it, then we're talking about what a great play it was.
That's right.
It's easier said than done.
For sure.
But you talk about those shots when they don't go in, you're like, okay. New Knoxville, you know, almost out of it a quarter ago, has a chance here. What did they call? Foul?
They call it a kick. So it'll stay with New Knoxville on the kick deflection by New Bremen.
Just over 7 minutes to go. As New Knoxville inbounds. Again, Haney, he had his back turned to the ball. He almost got it thrown off of him in the first quarter. Good defensive play by Haney. Touching or blocking Lammers' shot. And boy, good players find to be in the right spot. He's in the right spot to get the save, if you will, by the Rangers. Fortunately, on the other end, Greg, the Rangers able to stop the break with a kick ball.
That was a good block. I didn't think it would stay in bounds, and it did.
That was a
nice
heck of a play
by Haney.
Because there's a chance you go at it too aggressively, you foul Lammers, he goes to the line for 3 free throws. That makes the game an 11-point game. Now it stays at 14. Bornhorst trying to find a crease, and there's a hop. Yeah, Kobe Paul just hopped a little bit. So it's back-to-back possessions now that Bremen hasn't scored. So New Knoxville, if you're looking for opportunities, the last one you couldn't cash in on. See once now what kind of look they get, and see once if it's outside shot or if they maybe attack the bucket, like you said, try to draw the foul and get some free throws.
And you got a little different look here by New Bremen, too. A lot of guards. You got Blickel, Powers, and Paul all on the floor together. Let's not forget, Borner's only 6 foot tall. And in there with...
yeah, you're right. There's more of the lengthier guys are out, but a little more interior, smaller guys.
Right.
Lagerman gets to the back and cannot score. Blickel quickly down the floor. His shot off the mark, so it stays with New Bremen. Fortunate for the Cardinals. That have been 3 straight opportunities where they've had shots, I think, in the paint, basically, that they have not been able to score. In New Knoxville, though, you think about, boy, what if they scored a time before, and this time it's a single-digit game. Boy, deep 3 off the mark. And New Knoxville lets it go out of bounds. I thought for a second it hit a Ranger hand, but it did not.
And I think a lot of this move is defense. You know, New Bremen's speed on defense right now is going to be very good. It's going to be tough, like part of that penetration, I think. And it's a good move on New Bremen's part, I think, to keep their guards out of driving so much. They've got some really quick defenders in there now instead of that big post presence interior.
Powers gets his hand on it. Lammers controls it. Anspal dribbles around, goes up, and tough shot.
Good strong move by Anspal. Thought he was going to get it to go.
Each team right now, see what Bornhorst does here. His pass deflected, stolen by Tinnerman. This will be the 4th trip now for the Rangers.
Deep 3.
I was going to say that's now 11-point game. New Bremen's not able to put the game away. New Knoxville not able to climb back into it. But that triple on the 4th possession.
But this is what I was talking about before, right? See how it's kind of getting reckless now? Like there's a difference between being quick and being a little bit out of control. You need to, get your team settled back in at that point and get a couple good offensive looks. New Bremen's good when they get turnovers. You got to be able to settle down in the half court and get a good shot. And like you said, it's an 11-point game.
Yeah, 11 points.
It's a big possession coming up here with 5.5 to go.
foul on New Knoxville and then also a timeout called for the Cardinals, and we'll see if it's a full or a 30.
30.
We stay right here, but you talk about that possession-wise. We 3 possessions for each team. No one scored.
Right.
For New Knoxville, fortunately for them, they get the triple for Lammers in their 4th possession. So it's one of them areas of the game where, like you said, just someone has a chance to get back into it or blow it wide open.
You know, and you don't want to slow your offense down, but at the same time, you've got a lot of really good athletes both ends. You need to run through your offense a little bit. You can be patient once in a while and then get a better shot. You know, to me, and it's hard when you're running up and down. You want to try to get some buckets, and I'm a big advocate of running up and down, but that still, you still have to determine what a good shot is. And if there's 2 guys down there in the bucket and you're coming at both of them, then maybe you pull up right before them and get an open shot versus going in and taking a contested shot. And I feel like New Bremen's kind of gotten that contested. They've not had any open shots here in the 3rd quarter, or 4th quarter, sorry, and give New Knoxville some credit for that. There's a great pass there. That's the difference, right? Could have went up for a contested shot. Makes a great pass to Von der Haar for the easy 2. Great offense.
I'm sorry, not Haney, but Bornhorst with the assist. Von der Haar with the basket. And a nice move, as you mentioned. Good decision. Lammers hit a 3-pointer his last trip. That's another one.
He got hot in the first half. He's doing it again. He's got 19.
10-point lead. It was at one time a 19-point lead for New Bremen. 10-point lead now for the Cardinals. Powers nearly could have muscled again a charge, but stays with New Bremen. Von der Haar, no good. Haney, offensive rebound, in, it drops. A big possession there, big bucket. Boy, if you're a New Bremen fan, you're thinking, I'm glad that went in, or else we're looking at a...
And you love the decision by Haney, of course, because it went in, but he took a step away. There was a lot of defense down there, right? He kind of stepped away, took the open shot, and there's another turnover from New Knoxville.
Can't come away with the basketball. Powers, left-hander, likes it on that side and finishes. So back-to-back buckets. New Bremen kind of at this time, for the moment, Greg, has answered the New Knoxville run.
17 points now for Powers.
Lagerman leaves a shot short. He did a nice job kind of changing pace, but couldn't finish.
Yeah, good hesitation by Lagerman, had the opening.
Wow, it goes from bad to worse for the Rangers.
And that was another big shot. As you talked about answering the bell, Haney gets an open 3, knocks it down.
And gets fouled.
But you feel the possessions, right? Like the last 3 shots that New Bremen took, they were all open. Like those contested shots weren't there. All of a sudden they got 3 great looks, and they made all of them. You know, big difference in their offensive flow when they can get going like that. And like you said, it was 10 points, jumped to 17 just that quick with a chance to make it 18. And that's the 3rd foul now on Lagerman.
So Haney hit the 3-pointer and finishes the 4-point opportunity, and it was less than probably 30 seconds of game time. It was 50-40. Now it's 18-point game. So
Bremen answered the bell, as you said. They really put it in another gear there.
It's almost like flipping a light switch on for them. I mean, it's just that quick as New Knoxville finds a shot short, rebounded by the Rangers. Tinnerman for 3. Never give up. The Rangers now, that's a bucket they needed. Going to have to come up with another one of those series of possessions where they can shut down New Bremen's offense.
And that's tough. Tinnerman comes in off the bench. Ice cold, buries the 3, and now they get a turnover.
So here we go again. See once New Knoxville can score on consecutive possessions. Just over 3 minutes remain here in this ballgame. A 15-point lead. Anspal, mid-range jumper, back-to-back buckets. Timeout by Coach Lisi. It'll be a full timeout. The Rangers not going away. They trail by 13. We'll come back with more basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Schwiedemann Pharmacies began serving the people of Auglaize County in 1916 when Urban Schwiedemann purchased the building and business from J.H. Hoffman. The New Bremen location is one of the longest-running pharmacies in the country, with over 110 years of serving its patrons. Since then, 4 more stores have been added: Coldwater, St. Mary's, Minster, and Wapakoneta to round out the group. Our services include prescription refills, home medical equipment, nursing home services, customized compounded medication, vaccinations, and so much more.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Welcome back, New Knoxville making another run. They got it to 50-40 a couple minutes ago, Greg. New Bremen 8-0 run. Now New Knoxville responded back a 5-0 run, and will pick the Cardinals up full court pressure.
Yeah, everybody on this half of the court to start the possession.
Nearly they throw it out of bounds. They get it back to Powers. And Bartholomew will commit the foul, the 6th team foul. Powers, the ability to kind of stop and go, and when he goes, he has an extra gear. He's a pretty quick ball handler, and he handles it well.
His father was a track star back in the early days. No, it wasn't that early. He's younger than me, but but he was quite the speedster on the track team.
Maybe he's in track. Shot and discus.
He was quite the speedster.
Okay.
And his son definitely has that gear, same way.
Well, they're going to maybe come out and foul now. They fouled Powers almost somewhat intentionally to save clock, and Powers is a 72% free throw shooter on the season.
That foul on Bartholomew as well, his 3rd. Yeah, it almost looked like those were both intentional, didn't it? Get right up to that 7 foul limit at 3 minutes.
I'm just looking down as Powers.
Paid off right there.
And Powers, wow, comes from behind to get the steal. Fortunately for New Knoxville, misses the layup, but that would have been a backbreaker for the Rangers. Lammers looking for help, finds Logman open into the corner, hits the edge of the bank board, no good. Powers, the speedster, finishes. He missed the last time, but capitalizes the second time. Good play by Avery Powers.
There was that gear we were talking about. He's got 19.
Bartholomew has to alter his shot quite a bit with some hands in his face. Powers a little too aggressive, will commit the foul. That'll give New Knoxville free throws at this end to stop the clock. Yeah, I just was looking down the roster, if you will, free throw shooting percentages for the Cardinals. You know, who the Rangers might want to foul with the 5 guys on the floor. And
they shoot the free throw pretty good for a team.
Right now,
60-some% as a group.
You know, it's a lot of good shooters on the floor. See what some New Knoxville can identify. Of course, they got Powers and misses only his first one, but now Lammers can't connect either for New Knoxville. So time running out, Greg. The clock becomes New Bremen's friend with 2:21 left. Can New Bremen take care of the basketball and make it very difficult for the Rangers? Boy, someone has set a solid screen, and
a good finish by Nolan Bornhorst.
Good offensive press breaker there as they got it to the sideline. Good timing as Bornhorst able to cut and seal and get the ball. And again, these are types of plays New Bremen doesn't need to do, you know, an obvious foul. And
right.
Knoxville hasn't really made many shots. I should say, you know, they've been struggling in the interior with a smaller team.
Well, and you stop the clock. That's
what I'm
saying.
Keep the clock rolling. Stay on your feet and try to make it challenging. But New Knoxville, a critical shot here, free throws, if you will, that they need to score. And a line drive free throw goes in for Jack Bartholomew, averaging just under 3 points a game. Taking a look at it here is obviously Powers wasn't going to let Bartholomew score. Bartholomew gets them both to drop. 15-point game with 2:04 left. See what's now New Knoxville if they will try to foul when Powers gets rid of the ball, and he just splits the defenders. Didn't need really the shot, and here's a chance. Not saying it was a bad shot, but boy, when New Bremen just needs to run the clock, New Knoxville's trying to foul.
Right.
Let them put yourself as on the line.
Not needed. That's right. You're up by plenty. You don't even need a shot.
Loggeman, no good. Nice job by number 40, Vonderhaar, tipping it to his classmate or teammate, and Grant Haney all alone at the other end with the dunk. And that might just be all that there is for the Rangers. Not enough time left, and another whistle, and boy, that ball was an inch and a half from rolling in.
But same thing, like you said, you got a substantial lead. You contest it under there and just back up. Let him make the shot. If he makes it, so what? The clock keeps going.
And New Knoxville limited timeouts left, if any. And New Knoxville's going to foul, but New Bremen being up by 17 maybe can afford that. Make it 16 now as Tinnerman hits the first. As you'll see the foul here again, baseline, just too much contact. And I believe Bornhorst, well, one of the fouls on number 23.
It was on Bornhorst, his
right.
second.
Tinnerman makes both. 15-point lead, but more importantly for New Bremen, just a minute 22 left. And they will foul. They will not foul.
Good vision there by Vonderhaar as Paul was wide open.
It looked like Vonderhaar was being bumped and not aggressively enough, if you will. So aggressive defense by the Rangers trying to create a turnover. Haney to the basket, no good. Bornhorst, no good, tipped away. Bartholomew will run it down and it's going to be fouled. No, he's not going to be fouled. Evidently, he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, if you're New Bremen here, this is a great opportunity to just run your offense. You don't need to score. You shouldn't even be thinking about scoring right now. You should be thinking about how can I keep this ball in play and work it around your offense to run the timeout.
And now New Knoxville will, nope.
Stepped out of bounds.
Well, consistent calls as New Bremen, what you talk about right there, it's like an unforced turnover. New Bremen, or New Knoxville's trying to almost foul them.
Right.
And step out of bounds. So
I just don't think the mindset's there, right? They're still thinking about running their offense instead of spreading the floor and figuring out how to just spread the floor out and keep the ball moving.
Well, they've done a pretty good job, the Cardinals have tonight. They've played, again, very aggressive. Bartholomew goes in. Ball's knocked away, out of bounds. Did not see, Greg, which direction.
I think it went out against New Knoxville, so it's New Bremen ball.
But New Bremen, a good third quarter, if you want to look at anything. 24 points in the quarter, outscoring New Knoxville 24-10 to kind of blow the game open. But New Knoxville battled back to get to within 10. But it looks like New Bremen's going to get the victory, just maybe a matter of the final score with just 32 seconds left. And New Knoxville will probably just play good defense, let the clock wind out. And that's what it's going to be, as Alec will now be fouled. And he will go to the free throw line. That's a guy, if you look at the roster, not a very good free throw shooter on the season. Doesn't mean these won't go in, but maybe the guy the Rangers wanted to look for, if you can get him the ball earlier to try to foul. Now New Bremen puts some support players in, as Rindler in for the Cardinals, and also number 12, Caleb Alleg. Kobe Paul, the first of two.
Gets that one off the bank as you see a smile from Kobe. You got the little grace action there.
I only know a couple of Kobes in the world, but the other Kobe I know also wore 24 at one time when he retired. Nathan Tinnerman with the basketball. Tinnerman can't get the friendly home bounce to go down, and again, New Knoxville, a little frustration now. They're going to foul Bornhorst, and Bornhorst got a chance to pad the stats. And it's fouling out for New Knoxville is, I believe, Nathan Tinnerman. So the Cardinals come into town. They play their style of basketball, and it works tonight. They force New Knoxville into a number of turnovers and capitalize, and going to walk away and earn their second MAC victory of the season. Try to get to 6-9.
Officials trying to decide whether that's the 10th foul or not.
It was 10 the last time when New Bremen shot free throws. Not real sure.
No, they're saying 1-1 yet, so that must
you're
have
right,
been
you're
on
right.
the foul,
I'm sorry,
or the shot.
It is. Well.
And New Knoxville doesn't pick it up, throws it back out of bounds. So New Bremen going to get the ball because they missed the 1-1.
11.8 left. Again, New Bremen's going to earn this victory. Good job by Coach Doherty's squad. Coach Lisi's squad, you know, disappointed, but boy, they made it a game when they cut it to 50-40, and
they shot well from the three-pointer early in the ball game. That helped them a lot. And as you mentioned, Tinnerman getting into foul trouble early definitely did not help them, and he's going to foul out.
11 seconds left. New Knoxville fouls Bornhorst, so these are nice for Nolan Bornhorst. Good chance to earn some extra points and make the final deficit a little bit more commanding here for the Cardinals. This is a two-shot foul and takes advantage of the first one. Imaginary congratulatory low fives Bornhorst gives to his teammates are not on the lane. That's like when the guys in Major League, when the rookie hits a home run, no one, they all sit down. And
yeah, no one goes to shake his hand.
He goes in the dugout and gives himself high five and pats himself on the back. Final seconds here at New Knoxville. Loggeman off the glass and in. And that will be the final score here. New Bremen will win tonight, 66-51 over New Knoxville, as the teams will meet at half court and shake hands. The Cardinals, your winners tonight. We'll take a break. And when we come back, we'll wrap it up here. The game on NKTelco Sports.
As a business owner, do you find yourself reviewing too many applications, or are you the job seeker filling out dozens of applications in an attempt to find employment? West Staff has been bridging the gap between employers and employees since 1988. Jobs range from manufacturing and clerical to specialized fields such as quality control and engineering. West Staff has the ability to operate as your company's entire HR department or simply payroll employees on a temp-to-hire basis. West Staff, your partner in business.
For over 27 years, the knowledgeable, reliable, and experienced staff at Lamb's Insurance Agency has been providing superior auto and home insurance to the people of West Central Ohio and Indiana. The team's understanding of the agricultural community and farming operations is second to none. We support the local communities because we are, well, local. If you are looking for excellent claim service, stop by or call today for your quote. Lamb's Insurance Agency, representing Ohio Mutual Insurance Group.
At Joint Township District Memorial Hospital, your comfort and care is our #1 priority. Our surgical nerve blocks are a great way to reduce pain and can be used for arm, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, and foot surgeries. The nerve blocks decrease the stress of surgery on your body, requires less anesthesia and pain medications, and in many cases can offer relief for several days. Visit grandlakehealth.org for details on all of our services.
Moran Refrigeration in St. Mary's is celebrating 70 years in business. We are committed to offering you top name brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, and KitchenAid, Samsung, Fisher & Paykel, and Speed Queen. Come in and experience the one-on-one personal service that you won't get from big box stores. Our delivery and installation specialist will assure you that your purchases arrive safely and are installed properly. Moran Refrigeration, exceeding your expectations.
Welcome back to New Knoxville. The Cardinals open up the game and win by 15 points over the Rangers, 66-51. With their final game stats, here is Greg Burney.
Thanks, Jeff. As you see the numbers there, very good second half for New Bremen as they put together a really good third quarter, as you mentioned, Jeff. 28 points I think they scored in the third quarter.
24
in the third quarter. Defense just really stepped it up. We got a lot more rebounds in the ball game here. A lot of that's in the third quarter. They really shut down the New Knoxville offense and opened up a big lead and really just turned it on.
We mentioned shutting down the offense. We also talked about they kind of kept New Knoxville's offense alive by fouling them and sending them to the free throw line a little bit in that stretch where New Knoxville made some shots from the foul line to help them climb back into the ball game. But overall, a pretty good performance for Adam Doherty's squad, and they shoot a lot more shots, they rebound a lot more, and they win by 15.
For sure. Scoring for the New Bremen Cardinals went like this. Avery Powers led with 19. Also with 19 was Grant Haney. Luke Vonderhaar with 11. Nolan Bornhorst with 7. Kobe Paul 4. Bryce Blickel 2. Andrew Bowers also with 2. And Jacob Rindler with 2. For the New Knoxville Rangers, they were led by Ben Lammers. He also had 19. Nathan Tinnerman with 12, Jonah Logman 9, Sammy Anspach 4, Andrew Poppy 4, and Jack Bartholomew with 2. So as you mentioned, a good performance by New Bremen. New Knoxville just not able to keep up at times and just really hurt early on. Tinnerman got into foul trouble, and the New Bremen defense in the third quarter especially really turned it on and were able to convert those into buckets. And they had some stretches that we talked about where their offense seemed a little bit anxious. But overall, the New Bremen team played a really sound ball game here tonight. Deservingly get their second MAC win of the season.
Yeah, you mentioned playing under control and out of control. The under control outweighed the out of control.
Sure.
I mean, we don't
They made some mistakes.
Critical.
They're high school kids.
Yeah, that's fine. We can't
sure.
do it either. But when you're trying to be consistent and
right.
get to that next level, there's too many other teams around here that have figured that out, and that's what you got to grow to become.
I feel like they took a big step here tonight. Their ball
And they
team
played some
solid.
good. Some of those losses deceiving. They've lost to some very good teams and played them very well. New Knoxville, again, at moments, very good, but when you take your starter leading score out for the game for a while, they hung in there, made a good run when they were down by 19, cut it to 10, and still had an opportunity to make it single figure. So good effort by the Rangers. A hard-fought game. They played until the very end, no doubt about it. Before we check out here, let's go through our players of the game for each team. First for the Bremen Cardinals. We mentioned his name quite a bit. Avery Powers led the team in scoring 19. Kind of helped that third quarter onslaught of the offense, outscoring New Knoxville 24-10 did the Cardinals. He was a big part of that and played very solid throughout the game.
Oh, we talked about it right away in the third quarter. You just saw different intensities. You see Merrill LaCourte right now, different intensity level in the third quarter especially. Turned the gear on, got a couple steals, knocked down a three. Just really played a great game tonight for New Bremen. He scored 19 points.
And for the New Knoxville Rangers, Ben Lammers, again, we talked about the comeback. He was instrumental throughout. Hit some shots in the first quarter, but also hit a couple threes in that comeback run as well, and offensively led the Rangers.
Yeah, he really got it going for New Knoxville in the first quarter. Hit back-to-back threes, made a couple runners as well in the first half. And then the third quarter got a little quiet. I think the defense kind of found him a little bit. He popped back out again in the fourth, knocked down a couple more threes, played a great game. He had 19 points as well.
Congratulations to both those young men, Avery Powers, Ben Lammers. I want to thank NKTelco for sponsoring the Player of the Game Awards. Before we check out, let's go through our staff tonight. Our camera crew included Luke Sweeterman, Patrick Toller, Caleb Crusette. Our engineering production staff tonight, Scott Robinson, Isaac Sell. And for my partner tonight, Greg Burning, I am Jeff Henshin. Once again, your final score, New Bremen 66, New Knoxville 51. Thanks for watching here on NKTelco Sports.